What do you do when life doesn't go the way you planned? When the job you worked so hard for slips through your fingers? When the relationship you thought would last suddenly ends? When the doors you prayed for don't just stay closed, they disappear altogether? In that moment, when the silence is deafening, when fear creeps in, whispering, "What if?" What do you do? Do you trust that God is still in control, or do you let fear take over? Because let's be real, fear is loud. Fear tells you you're alone. Fear tells you it's over. Fear tells you that God must have forgotten about you. That maybe, just maybe, He never had a plan for you at all. But what if I told you that faith is the answer to every single what if? That in the very moment fear tries to grip your heart is the moment you need to hold on to faith the most. Today, we're diving into the battle between faith and fear. How to trust God even when you can't see the way forward, even when the answer isn't clear, even when everything inside you is telling you to panic. Because if there's one thing I know, it's this: fear is a liar, but faith is a weapon. Nobody wakes up one day with a negative mindset. It doesn't happen overnight. It's built over time, layer by layer, experience by experience. Maybe it started with a failure that made you question your ability. Maybe someone you trusted spoke words over you that planted a seed of doubt. Maybe life hit you so hard that hope started to feel like a fantasy. And what happens? Those thoughts settle in. They repeat. They grow. Until one day, you don't even question them anymore. It's not "I had a bad day." It's "I always have bad days." It's not "I made a mistake." It's "I am a failure." You don't just think negativity. You become it. And here's the truth. What you allow in your mind will shape your life. If you constantly tell yourself you're not enough, you will act like you're not enough. If you constantly expect failure, you will attract failure. Because your thoughts control your actions, and your actions shape your reality. Once negativity takes root, it starts running on autopilot. You don't even have to try. It just happens. You expect the worst, and when bad things happen, it just confirms what you already believed. See, I knew it. I knew I'd fail. I knew they'd leave. I knew this wouldn't work. And the more it's reinforced, the stronger it gets. You stop questioning it. You stop fighting it. It just becomes who you are. But hear me, this is not who you are. This is a system, a program. And just like any program, it can be rewritten. But the first step, you have to recognize the pattern. You have to wake up and realize, wait a minute, I don't have to think like this. I don't have to accept this as my truth. Because as long as you think this is just how life is, you'll never take action to change it. Here's what happens when you let negativity win. You stop dreaming. You stop believing. You settle. You stay in relationships that drain you because you don't think you deserve better. You stop trying in your business because you already know it won't work. You let life happen to you instead of creating the life you were meant to live. And the worst part, you don't even realize how much you're missing. You don't see the doors God is trying to open. You don't recognize the opportunities because your mind is so focused on what's wrong, you can't see what's possible. But today, that stops. Because now that you understand the cycle, you can break it. You don't have to live like this. You don't have to stay stuck. And in the next section, I'm going to show you exactly how to start rewriting your story. Every negative mindset is built on a foundation of lies. Lies that have been whispered to you for years. Lies you may have accepted as truth. But if you don't expose the lie, you'll never break free from its grip. What lies have you been believing? Maybe it's, "I'm not good enough." Maybe it's, "I always fail." Or maybe it's, "People like me don't succeed." Whatever it is, hear me. That voice is not God's voice. That is the voice of fear. That is the voice of the enemy. That is the voice trying to keep you small. And let me tell you something, as long as you believe a lie, it will control you. But the moment you expose it to the light, it loses its power. So today, take an honest look at your thoughts. Write them down. Call them out. Expose the lie. Because once you see it for what it is, you can replace it with the truth. Now that you've identified the lie, you need to replace it with truth. And not just any truth, but God's truth. Because your thoughts shape your reality. What you believe determines how you act. And if you want to shift your life, you have to shift your mindset. This isn't about just thinking positive. This is about aligning your mind with what God already says about you. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am more than a conqueror. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. When you think differently, you move differently. And when you move differently, you get different results. But here's the key. This isn't a one-time thing. You don't break a negative mindset in one day. You break it daily. Every morning, when you wake up, you decide, I will not let fear dictate my day. I will not let negativity take root in my mind. I will stand on truth. And the more you do it, the more your mind begins to transform. Now, here's where most people get stuck. They expose the lie. They replace it with truth. But then, they stay still. They wait. They hesitate. They overthink. And guess what? That's how negativity creeps back in. Because a renewed mind with no action is like a seed that never gets planted. It holds potential, but produces nothing. If you want to break free, you have to move. You have to act on what you now know is true. If fear has kept you silent, speak. If doubt has kept you frozen, take the first step. Do something. Because every time you take action, you weaken fear's hold on you. Faith is not just believing. Faith is moving. And the only way to prove to yourself that you are freed from negativity is to walk like it. Speak like it. Live like it. Because when your actions align with your new mindset, that's when real transformation begins. Before you can break free, you have to realize when it's happening. Most people don't even know they're trapped in a negative mindset. It's their normal. It's the voice in their head they've been listening to for so long, they don't even question it. So here's the first step. Pay attention. The next time you catch yourself thinking, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, pause. Challenge it. Ask yourself, who told me this? Where did this belief come from? Is this even true? Most of the time, it's not. It's a script you've been running on for years. But if you can recognize it, you can change it. And that's what we do in the next step. You don't break a negative mindset by just trying to think positive. That's weak. That's surface level. You break it by replacing the lie with truth. You don't just say, I can do this. You say, I can do this because I've been through worse, and I'm still standing. You don't just say, I am enough. You say, I am enough because I was created with purpose, and no failure, no rejection, no mistake can take that away from me. Every time negativity shows up, you fight it with facts. You remind yourself that your past does not define you. Your failures are not your identity. And what didn't work before has nothing to do with what's possible now. Here's the mistake most people make. They change their thoughts, but not their actions. And if your actions don't match your new mindset, you'll always slip back into the old one. So if you believe you're worthy, stop tolerating relationships that drain you. If you believe you're capable, stop waiting for permission and start taking action. If you believe you're meant for more, start moving like it. Because nothing changes until you start walking in alignment with the future you say you want. This is how you break free. Not by wishing, not by waiting. By recognizing, rewriting, and taking action. Because the life you want isn't going to happen by accident. It happens when you decide you're done living in the cycle. And today, you decide. Right now, you have a choice. You can go back to the same patterns, the same thoughts, the same excuses that have kept you stuck. Or you can decide, right here, right now, that this cycle ends with you. Because let's be real, how much longer are you willing to let fear, doubt, and negativity control your life? Another year, another 5, the rest of your life? No, That's not your story anymore. Listen, everything changes the moment you realize you are the architect of your own mind. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not the words someone else spoke over you years ago. You are the thinker of your thoughts. You are the designer of your future. And the real breakthrough, it doesn't happen when life gets easier. It happens when you get stronger, when you take back control and rewire your mindset so that negativity no longer runs the show. From this moment forward, you don't just hope things change. You don't wish for a better mindset. You commit. You commit to catching the lies, replacing them with truth, and aligning your actions with who you're becoming. Because 5 years from now, you will look back on this exact moment, and you'll either say, "That was the day everything changed," or "I wish I had started back then." You choose, but I hope you choose you.